Bam! I'm not muted anymore, am I? Here I am. Here I am. Clay Moss on the Amazing Grace Sports Network. Thank you very much for being here on the 27th of May in the 2023 year of our Lord Jesus Christ. It's a Saturday, and it is NBA playoff time. That's right, NBA playoff time. And there's only one series to talk about since the West has wrapped up their series. The Lakers lost to the Denver Nuggets in four straight. And Lakers fans are so mad now that they want an investigation launched into this referee who they claim has all his family's full of Celtics fans. They lost to the Nuggets. They didn't lose to the Celtics. They lost to the Nuggets. We would have liked to seen the Lakers in the finals. The Celtics would have. If the Celtics make it, they're 3-2 down to the Heat, and they play tonight in a very pivotal sixth game that's going to happen tonight. So we're going to see what's going to happen, but it's a decisive game, game 6. It's going to be decided either way tonight, period. If Miami wins, series is over, and it stops right there. If Boston wins, the series goes back to the Boston Garden, or TD, well, the Garden, as we call it. TD North Garden is what it's called now. Whatever that means. Delaware North, something to that extent. But if the Celtics win tonight, it's over too, because the Celtics are going to win if they go back home. So tonight is really the decisive game, because whoever wins tonight is going to win that series. Now, with that being said, before we move on into some of the particulars, because last time we talked, right, the game had not been played. So we're going to go over some of the particulars of the game. I have to say happy birthday to John Conte. I believe it's pronounced that way. John Conte. He was a light heavyweight champion back in the 70s and 80s. It's his birthday. Yeah, that's right. It's his birthday, and we like to recognize birthdays around here. He was born May 27th. That's what it is, May 27th. Competed from 1971 to 1980 and held the WBC light heavyweight title from 1974 to 1977. And thank God he's still alive and enjoying his life as a retired boxer. Good for him. There he is, in his prime, looking good. As he should. He's a good-looking guy, apparently, and especially for a boxer. Most boxers are not very good-looking. So that when they are good-looking, it really stands out. Like John Conte, and Muhammad Ali, and Sugar Ray Leonard, and Hector Camacho, which we did a special on a couple of days ago. It was his birthday on I believe it was the Wednesday. On Wednesday, it was his birthday, Hector Camacho, one of the best boxers that I've ever seen box, period. So we just take John Conte out there. Let's move on. Now, since last time we talked, last time that we spoke together, last time that we were together, which was on, Thursday, the NBA Thursday, okay? The Celtics were facing elimination at 3-1. And they were in Boston playing. They don't always play well at Boston. Matter of fact, they lost the first 2 games at Boston. So there's no guarantee that they will win at home, more than likely. They tend to have a better chance of winning on the road for some odd reason. Unless it's the last and final game that they're playing at home, then they're locked in. That being said, they won. They won on Thursday night, 110-97. They won by 13 points, and it really wasn't that close. They were up by 20, 24, in between the 20s and 30s for most of the game after going into halftime and after halftime. In other words, they put a spanking on the Heat. Now, the Heat have lost 2 in a row. And the first one they lost was at home. So that was not a good thing. But teams will lose at home. They had a closeout game, and that closeout game is hard. They actually, I'm going to tell you the truth, were ahead most of the game, and they looked like they were about to put the boots to the Boston Celtics. But bam, doesn't happen that way. The Celtics came back. The Celtics resurrected themselves in the third quarter, became combative, then became competitive, and took over the game. That's what happened. What am I looking for? Looking for my sound effects. What can I get here? Let's give some applause. The Celtics took over the game, became combative, and then became competitive, and they managed to take game 4. Then they came back to Boston, like I said, on Thursday, or like we all know, on Thursday, and they took game 5. Now, tonight is game 6. But let's see what happened in game 5, shall we? Let's start off with the losers, the Miami Heat. Well, they were playing without Gabe Vincent, so we didn't have to worry about 20 to 30 points from him. Or, I mean, not we. The Celtics did not have to worry about that. We, as a collective spectator, didn't have to worry about it either. But Kevin Love came in his new job of enforcer, played 14 minutes, was 3 for 7 for 6 points. Kevin Love's job is to go out there and push people around. He almost knocked Jason Tatum off the rim, and because Tatum hung on to rim after Kevin Love gave him a shove while he dunked the ball, the refs gave Jason Tatum a tech. Now, I think that should be investigated. Forget about this stupid thing about the Lakers. They lost 4 in a row. Why are you complaining about that? The fact that Miami is gooning out there and allowed to get away with, that should be investigated. But the fact that the Celtics can't get anything investigated, but the Lakers or the fakers can, if they even believe somebody is against them, oh my gosh. In Fakerland, what could be worse? I mean, they're supposed to go to the finals. The NBA has spoiled them for so long. And again, I believe they won the margin of free throws, fouls being called, which they always do no matter what team they play. Sometimes they beat a team by 20-something more free throws, and LA thinks that is their right. And when they don't get that, oh my gosh, oh, the sky is falling. Oh, the world is against us. We didn't get 10 to 20 more free throws than the other team. Oh, the world's against us. We need these refs investigated. We need something to happen. Somebody call the FBI. Somebody call the DEF. Somebody call whatever. G-men, T-men, E-men, F-men. Call them, because the Lakers, the fakers, and the fans, oh, something, it must be wrong in life. Oh, yeah, well, so Tatum hung on to the rim because Kevin Love shoved him after he dunked the ball, and they didn't give Kevin Love a foul. But they gave Jason Tatum a tech. Well, yeah, that's right. Because, wow. Sheesh. Well, just because they did. No, Miami did not get the push the other day in Boston. The Celtics were 14 for 19 in free throws, and Miami was 8 for 10. But Kevin Love again. His job now is to be the goon. Mr. Jimmy Butler. For some reason, I thought Jimmy Butler, okay, it's been a long time. And in a long time, sometimes we forget. And when something happens, we make a comparison that's totally inaccurate. One of them was, is Jimmy Butler the Michael Jordan for the Miami Heat? And the answer is no. Jimmy Butler is still the crazy Jimmy Butler that he's always been. Sometimes he shows up, sometimes he doesn't show up. And when he doesn't show up, well, 5 for 10, 14 points in 34 minutes. Bam Adebayo. Well, Bam, I don't know what to say, but it ain't looking good for you. He played 32 minutes, 8 for 15, 16 points. Kyle Lowry, Mr. Flopper, Flipper Flopper. That dolphin noise, you remember that dolphin noise, that old TV series, The Flipper? That could be Kyle Lowry's clarion call. Whenever they introduce Kyle Lowry, there should be a dolphin sound. Matter of fact, that is Miami. Dolphins, flippers, floppers. That would be Kyle Lowry. Um, Kyle Lowry's great if he's on your team. Let's face it. I'm going to be honest. He's great if he's on your team, and if he's not, you probably don't like him. Or yeah, there he is. There goes Flipper right there. If he was on the Celtics, okay, I would say, he's a very heady player. He puts his head in there. He tries to make the best happen. I would like him. I probably would say the same thing that I say about Marcus Smart. I would like him to stop trying to take so many foul calls and play the game. Play it, just play it. Because here's the deal with Kyle Lowry. When Kyle Lowry actually plays, Kyle Lowry's a good player. When he's not concentrating on flopping and, hitting the ground and tripping up, other players and sticking his leg out and scratching them and, and scratching them with his fingernails. When he's not doing that, he's actually a pretty good player, but he spends so much time trying to do that and it hampers him. Matt Strus came back down to earth when the pressure was on and Jimmy Butler couldn't get his shot off. Played 24 minutes, was 1 for 5 for 3 points. They got 18 points from Duncan Robinson, and they had 15 points from Alonzo, who's it? Highsmith. Gosh, I know this guy's name. But anyway, we'll just call him Highsmith. Very, very good player. He's been around for a while. He's not a first-year guy, second-year guy. He's been around. I was going to say Alonzo Highsmith, but Alonzo Highsmith was a football player. I will look up this guy's name. And Highsmith is a very good player, so he comes off the bench, and he gave him 15 points. And also, they got 14 points from Caleb Martin, who has been surprising everybody coming off the bench for the Heat. I know who that is. Haywood Highsmith. He's been a good player for a while. Let's see. He came out, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. I'm not seeing where he came out. When did he come out of school? How long has he been there? 2018. So, okay. He's been around for 3, 4, 5 years. So he's a guy who knows what he's doing. He's a guy who can play. He's a guy who knows where he should be, when he should be there, and at what time he should be there on the court. So he plays good defense. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on the Heat team. You got to know that. It's always defense first for the Heat. You got to play good defense. He plays good defense, and he's out there on the floor. That being said, let me get rid of this picture of Mr. The guy that everyone loves to hate. Not really. Okay. You only hate him if he's not on your team. Okay. If he's not on your team, you kind of don't like him, and can't wait for him to, well, whatever. Does not begin being foul trouble, sit on the bench. You have no love lost when. Okay, listen. Whenever a player is hurt, you feel kind of bad. Except when it's playoff time. So if he was hurt, sprained his ankle, okay, probably wouldn't feel too bad. You know what? Actually, I would enjoy not seeing Kyle Lowry out there because Kyle Lowry is going to fight to the end. So if he's not out there, it's much easier to beat the Miami Heat. That's a compliment in a backhanded sort of way, but it's true. Kyle Lowry is the guy you do not want to see out there. He will fight to the end. He's never give up. Let's get on to the winners. Jason Tatum. And Tatum had a very good game because they forced him to do other things. And he was able to do these other things. He just didn't focus on shooting the ball from 3. Tatum played 41 minutes, was 8 for 16, 50%. That's pretty darn good. Unfortunately, he was 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. He only went to the line for 6 free throws, but he went to the hole a lot of times. He was a plus 19. He had 21 points. So Tatum had 21 points. Then we go on to Mr. Al Horford. Now, what did Al do? Al actually had a pretty good game considering, well, what he's been doing. Al played 29 minutes, 3 for 7 for 6 points. So he only hit 2-pointers. Marcus Smart, 30 minutes, 7 for 12 for 23 points. Derek White, now this was what happened. Derek White came in, and Derek White lit it up. Derek White played. Now, where was he the first 3 games? Nowhere to be found. But Derek White came in, played 37 minutes, was 8 for 11. You can't beat that. 6 for 8 from the 3-point line. You can't beat that. He had 24 points, and Jaylen Brown was 9 for 18, just like Jason Tatum, and he had 21 points. Tatum also had 11 assists and 8 rebounds and 2 steals. 2. I mean, he filled up the box sheet there, okay? 2 steals, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, and 21 points. And he guarded Jimmy Butler the whole game. Nothing worth mentioning off the bench. Malcolm Brogdon gave it the old college try. He came in there and he tried to play. He came out with 6 points. Okay, 18 minutes. Has a torn tendon in his right arm, his shooting arm, which does not. But we're thinking, if this really goes the way we're thinking, them being down 3-zip and coming back, a la the 2004 Red Sox, he needs a bloody arm sleeve, like Kurt Schilling had. Kurt Schilling had a bloody sock. Okay, he had the bloody sock. I don't know if it was from nobody. They said he had surgery. He had some sort of surgery on this ankle or tendon down there in this ankle area. And because of that, he was bleeding. So he had the bloody sock. We're not really sure if it was a bloody sock, but it's been labeled a bloody sock. And since it was labeled a bloody sock, we are going to go with that fact that it was a bloody sock, and he pushed through the pain. Malcolm Brogdon, you need a bloody arm sleeve, and we'll say that you pushed through the pain. You had a surgery the night before on your arm in order for you to play, and well, the rest will be history if you win. But it's pivotal tonight. Whatever happens, it's going to happen, and whatever happens will determine how the series is going to end. That being said, I've looked around now to see what are people saying about the Celtics. Well, for the most part, it's cricket. But I'm not being honest. Truly, and this is scary. They're actually picking the Celtics to win Game 6. That's right. CBS Sports, ESPN, Sport News. They're picking the Celtics to win, which is scary because the Celtics are not used to being on top. They're used to being the underdog, oh, yeah, it's the Celtics. Oh, yeah, they're there. They're not used to being in the position of people picking them, which is what happened the first 2 games. They were picked to decimate the Heat in the first 2 games, and it was them who got slapped upside the head. It wasn't the Heat. So this is the scary part about this Game 6. The national media have picked the Celtics to win. I'll give you an example. Let's find out what we got here. CBS Sports. In CBS Sports, James Herbert reporting. James Herbert says there's only 3 times in the history of the NBA that a team has gone from 0 to 3 all the way to 3 to 3. And that's it. In that time, no team has won. A lot of teams have got to 3-1, 3-2. Some teams have gone to, only 3 teams have got to 3-3 in NBA history. Gone down 3-0 and turned a deficit into a winner-take-all in Game 7. The 2003 Portland Trailblazers, the 1994 Denver Nuggets, and the 1951 New York Knicks, who lost to the Rochester Royals in the finals. They actually went to the finals. But no team, none, that's gone from 3-0 and gone 4-3. Only 3 teams have gone 3-3. I think in 150 times. Yeah, in the 150 playoffs, when the team has been down 3-0, okay, only 3 teams have made it to 3-3. So it doesn't look well, but they say it's because the Celtics are a higher seed. Okay, the Celtics already have a chance to buck the major trend. of the 10 modern team areas. They've gone from 3-3 to 3-2. Da 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 da. Only the 2010 Magic were higher. The Celtics are the high seed. If they can win game 6 on the road Saturday, which is tonight, and then 2 nights later, which is Monday, they will be the first team in the history of the National Basketball League to go from a 3-0 deficit to winning. Now, that being said, everyone's comparing them to the Boston Red Sox. Kevin Millar, I was calling him Kevin Miller. Sorry, Kevin. All right, you'd think I would know better. I was there in the 2004. I watched it all happen. And what we thought, or what I thought, because the Red Sox have a higher track record when it comes to losing than the Celtics, yes. When it was 3-0, I was hoping the New York would win the fourth. Just get it over with. Because generally, here's what happens with the Red Sox. When they're down 3-0, or which has happened, they might win a game, right? And then after they win that game, everyone's happy. They're going to come back, and then they lose. Or they win 2. They win 2 games. That's right. They go from 3-0 to 3-2. And everyone back on the bandwagon. Everyone is happy. Everyone is saying they could do it. They could do it. They could do it. And they lose the 6th game. And it's even happened with the Red Sox that they have battled all the way back to tie the series at 3-3, and they lose to game 7. So after my years of growing up a Red Sox fan and having this happen to me time and time and time and time and time and time and time again, I didn't want it. I didn't want any of the stress. I didn't want any of the pressure. I didn't want any of the pain. No pain. Please, just let it go. Lose game 4 and wait till next year. And you know what? I can sleep at night. But what did the Red Sox do? They said, don't let us win game 4. Because we do, anything can happen. And I thought, anything like you win game 4 and then you lose game 5. Then they won game 4. And they said, don't let us win game 5 because, anything can happen. I go, anything can happen. Yeah, you win game 5 and then you lose game 6. I'm not getting on the Red Sox bandwagon. I'm not going to have my heart broken. I'm not going to be put through sleepless nights worrying about what's going to happen. No, just lose. But then they won game 5. And after they won game 5, they said, don't let us win game 6. And I said, well, what the heck? I'm back on the wagon. Let's do this, okay? Let's do this. And actually, because what are you going to do when they're 3-2? You have to get back on it. I was like, come on, okay. But if you lose, not that big of a deal. At least you won 2. They won game 6, and the rest is history. Well, the Celtics are on the precipice of doing the same thing in a similar situation. Can they do it? Like I said, CBS thinks they can. ESPN thinks they can. Erick Moody has picked the Celtics to win game 6. And not only that, the sport news, probably older than those two, CBS and ESPN put together, had picked the Boston Celtics to win game 6. So, here I am. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a Heat fan, you know the pressure's on. You know Miami has to win tonight, or it's a done deal. You can just kiss this sucker goodbye. Don't even watch game 7. Go out, walk the dog, play with the kids, play Frisbee, go to the park, go to the beach. It's a done deal. They ain't winning game 7. And the Celtics fans, you know this is the pivotal game because if the Celtics lose, it's over. That's right. That's it. That's 4 games to 2. Have a nice day, everybody. Drive home safely. I'm taking the Celtics. I'm going Celtics. What am I going to tell you? I mean, once it's 3-2, you have to go. There's the Boston Celtics jersey behind you. Are they going to do it? Well, the truth is they play better on the road. They play better on the road. I have to agree And one of the few times that I have to agree with ESPN, CBS Sports, and the Sport News that the Celtics should win tonight. We all will see. What we have to be thankful for and happy is that the game is actually occurring, that it is actually a sixth game. Whether you are a Miami Heat fan or whether you are a Boston Celtics fan, you have to be. Oh, wait a second. If you're a Miami Heat fan, you are obviously not happy about this. This, as far as you're concerned, could have been done 2 games ago. So if you're a Celtics fan, you have to be happy that it has gone 6 games and that the Celtics have a chance of winning the series. If you are a Miami fan, on the other hand, man, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. I'm sure you are somewhat confident. It's your team. You want to be confident, but I'm sure you are sweating bullets right now because this is it, baby. This is for all the marbles really tonight. If you don't beat the Celtics at home in Miami tonight, well, well, you already know. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I have no problem talking for 20, 30, 40, 50 minutes. But, oh, my partner, Erick James, had a previous engagement. The guy is so busy, sometimes he can make it. It's really hard to make, well, no, it's not. He just double booked himself and put him in a situation that he had, this thing had happened before the playoffs came along and, couldn't get out of it. So he was stuck doing what he had booked to do a month and a half ago before the playoffs, and we had to do NBA playoffs on Saturday because the Celtics pushed it to 6 games. So that being said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sports fans everywhere, it's been my pleasure to be your host on this Saturday, May 27th. And like we said, happy birthday to John Conte. Conte. I'm sure they pronounce it Conte. John Conte, light heavyweight champion of the world. And wish him all the best and many more birthdays to come. I also want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, okay, you might be a Miami Heat fan or a Boston fan, but try to be cordial to one another. Okay? Make it all in fun. This is not life or death. It's a basketball game, and it could feel like life and death, but it's not. So be good to yourself. First and foremost, be good to yourself. Okay? Don't drink too much so that it impairs your next day. Don't get too up or down, whether your team win or lose. Okay? Try to remain even keel, root for your team, have fun, because you are the most important person in sports, not your team. You are. And your health and your well-being and your outlook and your attitude is more important than anything your team could do. With that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu. That's right, adieu, which means au revoir, which means hasta la vista, which means see you later. You guys have a nice day. Take care of yourselves. And, oh, we don't want that. We want to change this over to something else. Let's see, let's get here. Bada boom, da 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 da. Yeah, here we go. With that, have a nice day. Have a great Saturday. Have a great Sunday. The game is tonight. I hope you guys can last till then. Let's face it, it's going to be hard. It's 1:30 right now. 1:39, 1:40. Whew. It's 1:40 right now, and the game does not start to 8:30. So, what's that, 6, 7 hours away? Woo! Listen, guys, take it easy, relax, enjoy your day. Love, peace, happiness to each and every one of you. Have a great afternoon.